Hello everybody, First Month is here. Today with completely new brand of a knife, company Entrek. And this is the knife we'll talk about today, and that's the Entrek Bravo 11. As you can see, Entrek USA on it. This company, if you don't know, for me it is like new experience. It looks like these knives are something in between in design, like a Tops knives and Bark River, and in price range it is somewhere in between of those. Of course, okay, yeah, we could say always there is some SE. I don't have any SE knife, so but generally the design, I mean, my micarta handles kind of rough, maybe military look knives, not something, I would say that collectible pieces. I mean, for the design, something really fashionably made on that. This is really like workhorse, especially this knife. We go to that a little later. So Entrek, if you don't know, is a company which is run generally by one person, one knife maker, which is Ray Ennis. This for me, it's a really new experience. I watched his video from 2010 and I believe 2011. 2010 it is interview, and 2011 there is like I would say that simply the guys went to his workshop generally, and he showed them in 5 videos how he makes his knives, and that's really, I strongly recommend you guys to watch these videos because that was incredible. Mr. Ennis is really great knifesmith or craftsman. That was incredible how fast he can make one single knife. Unbelievable. And he does everything by himself. He gets a piece of metal, he pre-drill, for example, these like a jimping. See that? Yeah. And then he sent these the metal plates for hardening, tempering, and then when it went back, he started everything that was just flat pieces. No, if you think about Bark River, you can see in Bark River, but they get some like pre-grounded knives for flat grinding. Simply that when they start to do the handwork, it is pre-done. There is some time on the knife was spent, but not on these. That was really great experience. Unfortunately, as I know, Mr. Ray Ennis has some healthly problems. He's got it on his page, so there will be probably less his knives on the wall because he probably couldn't make knives as fast as he did. And he said in the time 2010, he said he made about 7,000 to 8,000 just Entrek's knife. I believe it is because he made some custom knives which was not under the trademark Entrek. That's as I understood to it. It was excellent, really enjoyable. Okay, why I bought this knife? Firstly, when I've seen any Entrek's knives, this is not new. I say I've seen it yesterday and I said, okay, I'll buy some. No, I've seen them long time ago, but I said, okay, they doesn't look wrong for me. But 440C steel, I'm kind of hyped for these CPM 3V and these modern steels. But when I find out what the process of the hardening and what was important, sub-zero quenching, which is we spoke about it on my Wilhelmsen knife on this Despot Large. It's the same process, which makes the structure of the steel more smoother, more everything. So the edge is more stabilized, prevents chipping and everything. I said, okay, I should try some. And because I do have one knife made of 440C, it is the Black Fox Cookery, small one. I made a video, I didn't release it, maybe I will do it again, I don't know where it is. Okay, but it is there, but I don't know if they use the same technique. Here, on the Entrek knives, they definitely. And it is not cheap steel, and Mr. Ennis said when he started to use this 440C, it was the super steel. Okay, he stands there because he know how to work with the steel, and simply didn't put the price of the knife on such high level. Comparable, for example, to Tops knives. What is better, 440C made tempered and these things simply the process like this one, or 1095? Well, I'm going for stainless because in my eyes there are some advantages straight out of the box, and disadvantages which usually has these stainless steels like 440. They broke, they chipped and everything. When you got this process where you prevent these, well, tell me why not? Like, for example, why don't have on the tops trackers T3 is made to 154 cm steel, got it there, didn't happen anything. That's great. And as I said, I wish to have all the trackers, maybe try all the trackers in that 154 cm or something like that, because it is simply advantage, and there is no any disadvantage. I can't see any. If that is properly tempering, not so high. By the way, all these Entreks are tempered for 57 or 58 HRC, which is like standard. SOG use it, Tops use it, so many companies use it. Only as I think SE has 55 to 57 or 56, 57, so they are a little bit down. Of course, it is hard to break the knives, but another information, most of these Entrek knives are made of 6.5 millimeter or quarter of an inch thick spines of them blades, and that means something. Some of them are made in 3/16, I think, and Mr. Ennis said that he doesn't use any different. He just use standardly these. So that's a really huge knife, guys. I mean, huge. It is that. Now, point is, this is a really compact knife, small knife, but when you grab it in the hand, I was like, wow, you'll be surprised how heavy the knife is. Just a little comparison before we start to do something more about it. So generally for the millimeters, same knives in design, the Wilhelmsen, the Spot Large, and these Entrek. We got Tops bootlegger, slightly longer, as you can see on the blade. Same stock, generally, quarter of an inch on the spine, but we know that there is the step here on the sides. There is a step which reduces the thickness dramatically. We got my Caron 3. You can see how small, tiny this knife looks compared to this, but there is generally 25 grams different in weight, guys. 25 grams is less than 1 ounce, and you will see, wow, this is like this is like huge knife or thick, you know. But when you grab this one, say, wow, they are very close in weight. Generally 5.2 millimeters on spine, and as I said, this is 6.5. And last thing, or last knife, which I think is the most comparable knife even for description, and that's my Lion Steel M5. Very close size. The Lion Steel is slightly longer, let's say 1 centimeter. Definitely we can see differences in spine, on spine. Okay, is it there? Wow. I can see it properly. Yes. 4.8 millimeters, 6.5 millimeters. This is something I say 16. I don't know with that measure because this is made in Italy, so I don't know if that's really huge difference. By the way, 240 grams, 280 grams, 200 grams. This is 200 also, 211 I think, somewhere there. And this is 305. I can see the difference. How the Charon is still larger or bigger on all sizes, but when you grab them, you say, wow, it's not like that, because there is really mass of this steel. Interesting is, as Mr. Ennis said, that there is, he made in that time, in the 211, or sorry, 210, he made this between 7,000 and 8,000 Entrek knives. You can't really see many of them on YouTube. You can see, or you can find the 2 videos about this Entrek Bravo, and one of them is just straight advertise, and the second is one guy from Russia. I understand a bit of Russia, so he spoke about the knife, but he didn't put any like information, didn't show, nobody simply shows something with this knife, how it slides, etc. But it helps me to decide I want this knife. He compared this knife to Bravo 1, I think, Bravo 1, I mean Bark River Bravo 1. Of course, price difference, etc. It is kind of interesting. You can find really few videos generally in use of any Entrek knives. I don't understand why. So I looked for the blade forums, you know, I tried to find out more information about these knives, and I generally say, oh, they are great. And most of them said, we're going to next level, Sheath. This is a Kydex sheath, but generally everybody says, well guys, yes, I got a Sheath, but I want to have better. This is not definitely a bad sheath. It is made of maybe same 1.5 millimeter thick Kydex. It's kind of weird. The knife won't come there. You must like twist it like this one. Yeah, you must twist it, and then it goes down. Maybe see that kind of different. It is molded from one side, from the top side, and as you can see now, the bottom is flattened simply as this one is. You got some lashing options. You got a lube made by the Kydex, and that's it. I won't say anything like that. I will change it. I'll put it in this way. If I want to keep this knife, this sheath, I will do some improvements. Maybe I will cut off these and make some loop, maybe out of leather or something like that. Simply, if I want to use that, I will redo it something, and it could work. It is definitely working sheath. That's the important. I've seen one video. The guy who has some Entrek chopper, say, and he showed that the knife, when he used to put it into the sheath, the tip brought to the tip of the sheath. Well, maybe sometimes can happen, not in this. I believe I try to find. I believe I found there are 3 millimeters spare about, so it is kind of, you know, really rough. I don't know. Anyway, I will do the sheath for myself. How the knife came sharp? This is, as I said, 6.5 millimeter thick blade, and I believe 99% of the knives, Entrek knives, has hollow grind. So this is hollow grinded. Sorry. This is hollow grinded, and you can find out. Interesting is the stock of the secondary bevel is really, guys, is really high. When I spoke about tops knives, you know, and the height of the secondary bevel, that's huge. But this is unbelievable. 1.7 millimeters. Wow, I don't put it. Nah, I don't know it. I don't know it in inches, but anyway, 1.7 millimeters, it means I said 0.8 of millimeter for me is the border where the knife starts to be good slicer or is going up to kind of like survival hard use edge or something like that. And this is doubled, 1.7. So wow. So how it slices? It's a little bit used. I never touched the edge with anything. Sorry. I used that, as I said, I sliced with the knife something. Yes. This is kind of weird angle. You have to find weird angle. That's the thing. So that was the paper and some kind of wood. Just, you know, initially sharpness. This I will do, of course, outside this, of course. Sorry. I'll try to do it just as I said, I'm in the room, but I will definitely do some work on that edge. But if you find the kind of weird angle, which is really in this way, yeah, it's sharp. Mr. Ennis, by the way, says he won't put a razor edge on it because it dulls fast, as he said. So, of course. Well, if we can see, if you find out how to use the knife, it is pretty sharp. Really, that's not joke. That this knife definitely isn't dull, but it is thick, as I said, and you need to find out the angle. Generally, reason why I bought this knife is urban surviving. I looked for a blade under 5 inches or 5 inches maximum. One of my champion was Bravo squad leader made of CPM 3V and of course Bark River. But that knife is plus 50% of its price. So I said, maybe I won't. But what keeps me back, and I didn't both that Bravo squad leader, and I choose this one, was length of the knife. Because I want to have something more compact, and because in surviving, I mean generally urban surviving, I like to point some, of course, self-defense ability. And because it's urban surviving, then I want to have something not really long. Of course, the longer blade will be better, but I don't want. I actually do have another longer blade, which okay I can use for it. But I really looked for something compact. But in the other hand, really survival knife as we think about the knife. So I mean, I want to go through some board. I want to use it hardly for splitting wood, even for throw if needed. This knife is really heavy. You know, I don't say it's just, you know, always where is discussion about how to, if throw knife in self-defense, blah, 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 somebody said, and that's of course true, you throw your knife and you lose your weapon, of course, but maybe it's just one choice. So this knife weighs 280 grams. And to be honest, if somebody hit you with this knife, doesn't matter if point in or like that, and you will be hit with the knife with the fast speed. Of course, when you throw a maximum speed up to distance, say 5 yards, about 5 meters, that will be a huge amount of energy you got. Doesn't matter if tip, then probably that could be lethal because the length of the blade should be enough. But anyway, the weight of the knife is just wow. If somebody smack you with let's say over the head, doesn't matter how the angle, that could send you down. And that's the thing. I say this is extreme situation. So please, somebody comment why you want to throw a knife. Just, you know, we had some accidents, for example, here in our country, that some guy came to a hospital, took the gun and simply started to shoot the others. So if you got something, you can't generally have some gun or maybe weapon like that, but to get the distance, if you need it, to get the distance, let's say 5 meters, if somebody's already started to shoot out, or you can throw this one, I say, okay, I'll try. Because you can maybe get 5 meters is long distance, especially in the hospital, you got a hall, and this is not like forest, you can hide somewhere like that. It's just straight away, wall, and you can go there to him or back. But if you go back and he shoots everybody and you are there, so I would say this could be just maybe one last chance. You throw the knife, if you hit him, bang, you can break him in some way. Then it could be good. So that's why that was one from that opinion when I started to choose. Another thing, so to have ability withstand throwing, so training of throw and simply to do some damage. Moment. And of course, I didn't mention the throwing knife is kind of fun. And if you got the knife, you don't need to be worried about if it stand that or not. Well, like my sock trident, as I said, I throw with him for long distances. I said 13 meters, so that's for me is quite long, over 13 yards. That's good, and because you throw for that, and that knife weighs over 300 grams. I'm not sure now, the old one. You have to put some energy into it, and if you screw the throw, which when you start you do like that, then the knife needs to stand some abusing. I said you said, well, you shouldn't throw with a knife. Okay, I get it, but still, so that was another opinion. Then I said I wanna go, let's say, through some wooden door or something. So I wanna go through planks. Wanna use it as a pry tool with this nice thick spine near the tip. Wow, guys, I'm really not worried about this knife, what it can stand. By the way, the Russian guy said he threw with the knife and easily. He said he dig something out of the ground. And he showed just a little detail of kind of little broken tip, but that was really, really hard to see just like that. So that was interesting. Of course, we got micarta handles, prevents slip. This knife sits nicely in hand. Even the jimping here is kind of aggressive when you grab it in your hand. Not really. You feel it like, I don't say it's comfortable, but it is all right. Okay, details. The weight, whole package is 338 grams. 338 grams, or I got it here, 11.9 ounces, so almost 12 ounces. The sheath only is in 56 grams or 20 ounces, and the knife itself, as I said, is 280 grams or 19.9 ounces. So quite heavy knife really for the size. Overall length of the knife is 23.3 centimeters or 9.17 inches. As I said, it's generally the same like this one, but this is like light brother. It's interesting. This is like workhorse. This is like the slicer. Same size. 5 millimeters on spine. That's 6.5. But wow, this is different knife. Blade, and what the blade means is for discussion. Sometimes it's hard to find what is it blade and what is not blade. For me, blades is that if I really, let's say, stab something through where the stuff, let's say, stops because of the handle thickness change, that's the blade for me. Because somebody could say, okay, blade is up to somewhere here, but that's for me crazy. This is not the blade, even it looks like part of blade. I shouldn't. And we got, of course, edge. So what I want to say is the blade means from this point up. That's the 11.8. This is 11.9 of the on the right. So generally, you see the blades are same length. You can see it, but have a look on the handle. And that was something like that was the squat leader made of bark river. So this is not. I like longer handles, but for the urban survival, etc., and such a small blade, this is nice enough. Really, this is very comfortable handle. This Lion Steel M5, as I said, is as I heard, is made always for Germany, whereas the blade restrictions, as I said, still under 12 centimeters, so 11.9. That's what I heard. This one falls into that category also, so it's kind of safe. I mean, you can have it with you on other European countries. I don't say all of them, definitely, let's say Great Britain, definitely not. But that's another advantage. Simply, you can have it with you. That's very, very important, because you can have whatever you want if you can't have it with you, only like illegally, which is always kind of, So that was urban survival, as I said. So hard using, even some combat ability. Not really slicer, but need to stand something, and packability, I would say, concealness. I can hide it somewhere under my clothing, and all these things, this knife completed, as I said. So that was really one big reason why I choose this one, and of course new experience. The 440C 5758 HRC, the sub-zero quenching process. I said I want to test it. I want to see how this one can stand up. As I got experience with the AUS8, which is definitely not super steel, and it was also super steel before time, and I got a good experience with that steel. I said, okay, this one seems to be good. So I tried. About the craftsmanship. Because this is really handmade knife, guys. Handmade knife. Everything I see. Watch the video, you didn't see that. So I found some imperfections, as I said. See the handle is going in this way. For example, where it was. One side is grooves. Are like one of them is going close to the handle. Like the angle is really to the steel, as I said, and one of them makes that. This is it. Maybe you'll see that here. Yeah, you can see that here. So this grinding here is going close, nearly exactly to the steel. Here not. Here it stays up above that, about 3 millimeters difference. This is not complaining. This is just. As I said, this is, I want to be objective. What I bought, for what money, and how was the craftsmanship. There is slightly different here when the grinds. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, if the grind here, and see, this is a little bit higher. Just a little bit, not like, for example, on the Bark River, where there was really difference between grind of this spot. This one was different on different position or different height on one side, on the other side. There was really big difference. This is, for me, excellent. This is great knife it is handmade knife generally. Like I would say, I got the model, but this is custom knife generally. Something I didn't change everything. Of course, I said, please, can you do this one, this one, this one? Okay, maybe he really can do something like that, but it is handmade knife. I would say 100%, or if we forget the tempering, hardening, and these things, 100%, and by one person. That's important. So incredible. I'm very satisfied with the quality, how that even the coating is nice, not the black one like with the hard coating here, but I got the DLC. I don't know how this is called, but nice, very nice. I mean, it seems to be less traction when I do some carving, slicing, etc. You guys, I'm really happy with that. I wish to keep a strong health to Mr. Ennis. I got really respect how he works, how he likes this knives. I believe he's like he likes, or maybe he loves knives. That's important. When you do something, when you make something, okay, that's great. And what is important also, you get, when you buy the knife, you get this one. It says Entrek USA. If this Entrek USA knife fails for any reason, and what's important, Mr. Ennis says it is also, it covered stupidity. So if you do whatever you do and you broke the knife or something that will carry on, then it will be repaired or replaced at the opinion of Entrek USA at no cost to the original owner, Ray Ennis. What do I want to say? This is one from greatest warranty, and he said it personally on the video, covered everything. He said in the time he replaced just 3 knives. So I don't want to expect. I would say I don't expect anything else from the knife lens, something like that. I pay. It wasn't cheap knife, and I get some discount to it, to be honest. So I'll try to put it into your. Wow, I can't tell you now. It was definitely somewhere $260. I mean, completely shipping and everything. What I paid. I don't really separate these price, because shipping for me is just nothing, because it is not from overseas. It's just I bought it in our country from our seller. So that was the price for me. Of course, he must pay these things. So for me, it's important not how much you can buy for in the USA or Amazon.com, because they won't send it to me here, or if I'll pay the customs fee, etc., and I'll be on it anyway. So that's important for me. So the Russian guy said he bought it for $140, but I don't know how long before. I can't remember the date of release of the video. But I bought it for about $260, I believe. So US dollars, complete price. So not cheap knife, but it is somewhere where most of my knives is. So that's definitely not something what I didn't expect it. But up to now, I'm happy how the knife looks, how I feel the knife and everything. As I said, I will do the outside test and we can find out more. I hope you will be there with me, and we'll see. Anyway, be safe there, my friends in the USA. That looks terribly there, and generally all of you on the world. Be safe there and enjoy your knives, and of course go for nature, because it is good for a head, and like we say, forget everything else, just the real life. Here we are now. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Bye.